Ken Rigby. I'm Councillor Keith Longman.
Councillor Rachel Madden.
I'm Steve Edwards. I'm the Service Director for Children's Social Care.
My name's Matt Williams.
I'm Mark Salon.
I'm Grainger.
I'm Julian.
And are these guys all your friends?
Yes, they are.
Do you want to?
My name is Fran Loy. I'm from the UK.
And I'm Mickey.
And I am Mickey Summers.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of you are aware of the fact that Nottinghamshire County Council and the City Council have what's called a strategic partnership.
Yes.
Are you aware of that? So, based on that, I'd like to use Guy's laptop to show you what happened on September the 8th of last year. I took a similar protest to the City Council. And I the liars. They've been covering this up since 2003. I first went to the police in 2003. I went to the City Council for Social Services in 2003. All my childcare records have disappeared. All the logs of the calls that were made in 2003 have disappeared. Statements that were made to the police back in 2003 have disappeared. I haven't just come into this, right? I've been dealing with this all my life, you know, since I was in care. And since I came back into it 2 years ago, I had to engage in quite a bit of serious therapy because of my post-traumatic stress disorder. And the whole picture emerged, and I came back to the police in Nottingham. Now, I had reservations about doing that because the last time I went to the police and they failed to investigate, I had a drugs relapse. You see, I'm 11 years away from that lifestyle. I've pieced all my life back together, and I'm left with the wreckage of my past and having to deal with it.
So can I just ask you this? So in 2003 you made all these complaints?
Yes, I did.
So when have you more recently started making your complaints?
From June or July of last year.
Okay.
Now, my history goes back to 1965-66. A teacher that was dismissed from working for the county council, his name was Jock Bowley. He ended up as a temporary teacher at Welbeck School in the Meadows, and he was on a school trip to London, and people knew him as Bomber Bowley. And I ended up getting some serious stick from my classmates because I ended up sat next to him after a trip. Well, as a consequence of that, I acted out as some kids do, and I ended up constantly in and out of the headmaster's office. Now, that headmaster, his name was Peter Howitt. Peter Howitt was aware of a few things concerning me. Peter Howitt is also a child molester. He fondled me in his office. Now, as a consequence of that, the fear, shame, all the rest of it that goes with it, I refused to go to school. I wouldn't even communicate with my mother about it. And I ended up seeing the truancy officer, and because I still refused to go to school, I ended up going to see the children's department as it was on Mansfield Road. I got warned that I'd be put in care. My first time of being in care was in August of 1966. I was took to Beechwood Children's Home. I still refused to go to school, and I ended up several times in November and December at Beechwood. Now, I wasn't molested at Beechwood or sexually abused, but I was mentally and physically abused, as were a lot of kids. Now, I ended up being moved from there because of someone that I saw at Beechwood. The person that I saw at Beechwood was my headmaster in the evening. Now, they might claim by education and science reports back then that they used to have teachers go to school. Well, You tell me a teacher that goes in and teaches during the evening. We know what went on, right, because of the conversations that happen with kids, right? They were sexually abused, right, molested and raped. But because he saw me and I saw him, I got moved to Hazelwood Children's Home. Whilst I was at Hazelwood, there were things that were going on there. Other staff members that were employed used to come to Hazelwood and abuse people. You know, the most traumatic piece for me is about 8 years old, mentally challenged, at a brain age of probably about 2 or 3. That kid was sodomised, right, and regularly abused by Arthur Hunt, who ran that children's home. He was also abused by maintenance staff, support staff, but he wasn't alone. I was molested by Arthur Hunt too, and I ran away. Now, when I ran away, it's dictated by protocols that you had in place then. If someone runs away and they're reported to the police, there should be an incident report log. Steve Edwards, where are the report logs?
We've got a note on the file, on our records, that Mr. Summers' file was destroyed in
No, that is not the question I asked you, Steve. Right, where are the incident report logs?
We've got a note that Mr. Summers' file was destroyed in 1978. We've looked at the report logs from children's homes that we've got available, and we can only find one reference to Mr. Summers, and we've given him a copy of that. And we've apologised to Mr. Summers that his file was destroyed in 1978. We don't know whether that was done within policy at the time or outside of policy, but clearly with today's lens on, the child's file shouldn't have been destroyed, and I've apologised on behalf of the council, and I've given him as well a personal apology that was the case, and I have to do it again. I'm really sorry about that. But all the information council can find about you, Mr. Summers, that you've had, that's no excuse.
But
Things not being there, but that's.
But it does go beyond that, because I had to run away a second time from Hazelwood, so there should be another incident report log. There should also be 2 missing persons files, because I was missing for days. And a missing child, right, is something quite serious. And the second time when I was found, I was taken to Canning Circus Police Station, and I was fitted up on false charges. Now, Steve Edwards has seen a subject access request, which I got from the police, which has got a list of my previous convictions. Now, that subject access request shows that on October the 5th, 1967, the case was discharged by the appeal court. So that means your council are accountable for wrongful imprisonment of me. Now, let's take things backwards, you see, because your former director of social services, who I'm not going to name, but Steve Edwards will give you his name, he pleaded guilty on my behalf and said that I'd committed these offences. But when it came to the appeal, it was discharged. The only thing that happened in the appeal court was there was a variation order, because I was already in care under Section 13.6 of the Matrimonial Act as a ward of court. Now, I went to Wakefield to live with my maternal grandparents. Now, when I went to Wakefield, there would have been a replica of my childcare records sent to Wakefield. Now, I've applied to Wakefield for them. That's disappeared. You've also heard me allege that I was sent to a remand home in Langport, Somerset, by your former director. That is true, because have you not seen a copy of that court document, Steve?
Yeah.
Your council denied that I was ever sent there. Now, when I was in America, before I came here, I said everything that I was alleging, and they said they were going to do archive searches over and beyond what they would normally do. They claimed that they searched Nottinghamshire Archive through the juvenile court records and found nothing. You see, what their expectation was just like all the other victims, that I would accept what's being said. No, I don't accept none of it, right? What I state here and now is it's all part of a cover-up to hide your former director of social services, right? We know approximately when he left, and I'm not going to go over and beyond that, but I'm going to go into something that happened a few weeks ago. I applied to the City Council for the job description of this person, who Steve Edwards is aware of by name, and the city say they've got no records. Well, when the Unitary Authority was handed to the county in 1974, all those records came here. He also came here with the job. Now, according to Anthony May, and we do have a video of Anthony May saying that all those documents were handed back to the city. So, collectively, as a strategic partnership, right, you're accountable for the lies that are told by the city, saying that they have no staff records. But we're not going to go much into that because that's a police matter. But all I've got is obstructions all along the way. Every point that I can go into after my childcare records have been destroyed, I thought I was dealing with honest people, and I've given them every piece of information about myself, and nothing comes back. Do you find it amazing, right, that I'm placed by the city in their places, I'm placed in a place that's run by the county, I'm placed in Somerset, I'm also placed in Yorkshire. There's no trace of me anywhere. It's like I don't exist. Now, it's just the same as the police. I don't exist.
We've also found documentation that they've said that they couldn't find, didn't exist, or had been destroyed. We've actually found pieces of that do exist. It puts it where he said it was. And so that's another lie.
So
that
where did you find
In the Nottinghamshire Archives.
Nottinghamshire Archives,
And
where
you
they
did
were
the
supposed to.
search yourself?
Yes, we spent 5 days in there.
This is where they said they'd already searched and
And the way they've already supposed to research, and the police have got the powers to do
Now,
this themselves.
I also have...
What did you just say about
Yeah, we
that?
have searched. Yeah, we have searched. We've searched all the county council's archives. We haven't got any access to the confidential archives.
This is not confidential archives.
Juvenile court or health. They're things that we haven't searched. But all the county council records related to Mr. Summers, we found very, very few. We found the one log reference, so we've got a note saying Mr. Summers' file was destroyed in 1978.
So let me
I've
ask them.
apologised to
Yeah,
Mr.
so
Summers
let
about
me
that.
ask them, these other records that you can't access, we can.
Mr. Summers has access.
So you've got the resources to find these records, but we as amateurs have not anything and we find them.
Not
The
necessarily.
City Council has put a lockdown on these other records till 2055.
Yes. The equivalent of a D notice, which is for national security, has been put on Beechwood and all the rest of the establishments.
This is true.
I'm not aware that that's...
You are aware, Steve, because we brought it to you and Councillor Alan Rhodes. Now, the other thing is, for a very long time, your council, along with your strategic partners, have maintained that this centres around 3 children's homes and Risley Hall Approved School. Well, through freedom of information, I've smashed those lies, just the same as I've smashed every one of the lies to date, right? It involves at least 16 children's homes, right? And probably in excess of 150 kids.
Yeah. Can I just sort of say, in terms of that, members have had briefings about historic abuse, so they know that there have been 92 individual civil claims made. They know that there are 84, 86 police investigations ongoing. They know
Separate.
there are a number of children's homes. And the other sort of thing that I would say, and I'm not trying to defend our position at all here, but honestly, with any more records of yours, you can have them.
Well, what I do want from you, Mr. Edwards...
Mickey.
Just two quick questions. What age were you when this...
I first went into care at age 12.
Thank you. The second thing is you say you've accessed stuff through...
Yeah, that we told that didn't
archives.
exist or had been destroyed, and we found.
Please,
Come on, Chris.
we're on shortish time span and I'm getting hungry and irritable. I'll warn you now. You say you've managed to obtain some data, paperwork, etc. from Notts archives. Did you have to do that through the DDA or DPA, or FOI, or did you just happen to come across that by accident?
We spent the best part of
5 days.
the equivalent of 5 full days, but spread over 2 weeks in the Nottinghamshire Archives.
Did you find it by accident?
No, we were searching, looking for specifics.
For specifics.
The places in where the council have seen it never was, well, they've got no record of it never been.
One sort of thing about the council has never denied that you were in Beechwood.
No.
Never ever denied that.
Let's go to Councillor Alan Rhodes. When me and Steve Edwards met with Councillor Rhodes, after a statement that was made in the Nottingham Post that you're willing to go to any lengths, right? Well, any lengths would mean that you put out a fresh media appeal. Now, we got a commitment, and we've got it on video, so there's going to be no denials around it, that a fresh media appeal will be put out. We need witnesses and other people to come forward. Now, there's a denial around the fact that it was only kids in Nottingham that were in your establishments. Well, in a reference to page 48 of the Beechwood Register, it shows kids from Stoke-on-Trent. And I've always identified kids from Stoke-on-Trent. It also identifies kids from Derby. But these have always been denied by both the city and the county.
One of the things we've done, because we put this sort of things out on YouTube for all this to see, is we've actually had people contact us that have never contacted anyone before. And we had one chap that contacted us that his abuse in the council system started in 1953. And he's on video telling his story, but the City Council have had that video blocked. And they've had any video blocked that refers to the council, the City Council. They've had 10 videos blocked.
We're talking about the county council now.
Yeah, but what I would like from you guys, if you ask me what do I want from today, now, when we met with, I believe it was Steve and your new chief executive that gets £170,000 a year for hiding paedophiles, is an answer to the Freedom of Information request. He said that he would give me what the city refused to give me. Now, I gave him the name, and I just want confirmation of his job title. He was the Director of Social Services.
Have you had that?
No, your council neither admit nor deny that he worked there. I also want the year that he left. We know when he left, but I'm not going to expand beyond that because that might jeopardise future litigation.
Can you just tell us
Can I
about
sort of say, Councillor Turner, that we did respond to the Freedom of Information Act. We didn't get the information that you wanted. We did take legal advice on that, and there is an ongoing police investigation that we're cooperating fully with.
So is that restricting you in what you can release?
We've given Mr. Summers
We've had it.
Can I ask?
Well, let's talk about what went on here.
What about Paddy tipping?
What went on on Monday of last week. Your chief constable, Chris Eyre, I challenged him in the reception here about the cover-up called Operation Daybreak. You see, the police are accused in their cover-up of past failures, and I challenged him on that. When I told him I've had to come leave my family in New York, he said to me quite condescendingly, "Good for you."
Yeah, well done.
Well done,
he said.
And
That condescended. And
but I'm
like,
more than willing. You hide paedophiles. Well, why won't you have a meeting with Mr. Eyre? My name's Mickey Summers. No, you answer questions. Why are you hiding paedophiles? You're working as a strategic partnership, right, with Nottingham City and Nottinghamshire County Council, right, in a cover-up called Operation Daybreak, right. I came from America, right, where I live, right. No, don't insult me by saying well done, right. Your colleagues at Operation Daybreak refused to come anywhere near from the 2nd of this year, and you've done jack shit for me, as far as I'm concerned. Right? I had to batter you on Twitter and Facebook and expose the truth to get re-interviewed by Operation Daybreak. I think that's thoroughly disgusting, right? As someone who's been abused all the years, I want you to have a meeting with me, with Lillian Greenwood, He didn't bring blood.
Allegedly.
It just shows what Nottinghamshire police are all about, a cover-up. Now, Paddy Tipping, he was in the quoted by the Mansfield Chad and other newspapers saying there is nothing that's being hidden. There are no past failures. Well, let me tell you about Mr. Tipping. Back in June, he denied ever knowing your former corporate director, yet in a later video that we've got, he admits that he was Paddy Tipping's boss. The man's got a very short memory.
Let's just keep on to you, because what I want to learn now is exactly where this council is in helping you and where we are with the police in helping you, because no doubt because I'm hoping that the two are working together. So we need to know where we are with that.
In terms of supporting Mr. Summers at the minute, because he's come from America, it's very difficult to engage, to get therapeutic support, and he needs it. So at the minute, the council is supporting that. We're paying for him. And we had a conversation that morning, and that's...
He's split up. He's been separated from his wife for a year. So the abuse is carrying on. This abuse is still carrying on. When all he needs is justice and people to be honest with themselves.
So we funded this therapy we've had a conversation this morning about extending. The second thing, Mr. Summers, actually he doesn't want compensation for the abuse because he feels that that's insulting. But he has spent a lot of money. Coming from America, loss of earnings.
I've lost 25 grand to date.
25,000. Now, when I met with Councillor Rhodes and Mr. Summers and others, we've taken advice about that. The way that he needs to seek recompense for loss of earnings is through making a claim against the council, county council and the city council, and we're supporting him in doing that. He's identified a barrister that he knows personally, and we've funded him twice now to go to London to meet his barrister so he can get in a due legal process. And if he's
to access to the legal process.
But it's not
supporting him through that.
The main thing is the county council and the city council is identical. Those at the top know everything that's going on. Those that are in the council don't know. And it was exactly the same at the city council as well. It is a cover-up by those at the top, and unfortunately Anthony May is involved in that cover-up.
Operation Daybreak has told, was it Operation Daybreak that's told him that his abuser, the head of social services, has been arrested? He's been arrested and he's been put on bail pending further inquiries.
Is this so?
Why, if that is so, why is there no public announcement of that?
Yes, but why is it not on your agenda today to be looked at? When it was discussed, it was actually discussed during your police committee meeting.
If I may say, I am a big defender of keeping people's names out of things because so many people...
That's the problem. That's the problem.
No, I'm sorry, I will stand up for this. So many people have been innocent and been proven innocent that have been dragged through the mud unnecessarily.
Can I just...
So I will say that as far as I'm concerned, anonymity stays until we can get some concrete...
But that's not what we're saying.
No, I appreciate that. But my point of view, and I said this to Mr. Summers time and time again, we know that children were abused in our care.
And you're liable for it.
And we're liable for it if they were, and we're doing all we can now to rectify that. It isn't appropriate to name names. It would prejudice the ongoing criminal investigation.
But that's the point.
But how would you know who we're talking about if we don't mention the name?
Normally, when somebody's been...
The thing is that the FOI that we put in didn't ask for a name. All we asked for was the job title, and they refused to even answer that.
But when it comes to people being arrested, until they're charged, they don't get named. But you always see in the papers, a man of such and such an age, living in such and such a place, was arrested and released on bail without giving any names, not even so much as that.
In terms of the criminal investigation,
we've anonymity and no justice.
It really is for the police to decide what information.
If he's been arrested, it should be made public.
Because it's your corporate director that's been arrested, there's a media blackout.
It's a complicated investigation, and I'm quite sure the police would want to tip people off about what might happen in the future by saying who has and who hasn't been
We aren't on about saying who.
Because we want justice, I wouldn't want to compromise that.
And the only thing I can say is the only reason why my claim is not in yet, right? I could have dealt with this last year. I was offered last year by the City Council to put a claim in. I'm not prepared to do that, right, until I get the truth.
We all,
This is
all,
not
all
about money.
Mickey's supporters, we've sat in meetings and we've seen the utter contempt that Mickey has been treated with. Right?
So
These people that work in the council that we've seen, right, they are carrying on the abuse of this man. If it was your son or your daughter, you'd be up in arms about it. And that's the old fact. These people in public office are treating this man with nothing but contempt.
We believe the one at the very top is Ken Clark.
Okay, right.
The insurance companies...
Can I ask a question,
Sorry.
please? Because we're going to be running out of time, and I'm afraid I am going to get coming to it before I tear up the bloody training. I'm not a happy bunny today. You've come here, you've made a public protest, which is understandable, having been in fairly controversial objection stages. The more publicity we get, the better. The more people on board. As you say, you're getting people coming out the woodwork now. Your group, is your intention to identify the miscreants, or is it to do that and bring forward further allegations? Is it to support ongoing stuff like Utri with Savile and things like this? I knew I never liked the blood. Things like this. What is the aim of your group?
There's the ultimate aim. What we would like
justice is truth.
Yeah, we want a full public inquiry. But whereas if that is not available, where the compromise we see lies is an independent inquiry where this party here has a say who chairs that inquiry, and they've named that person as Brian.
Have you thought about publicising this through parliamentary privilege?
Well, what I would like to say is, and I'll allow you to, I will kind of wrap it up on this. Council Roads, the City, the Crime Commissioner, Paddy Tipping, and Chris Hare, your Chief Constable, said that you're all in agreement there needs to be an independent investigation by a totally independent chair. Well, I have a letter from Lillian Greenwood that unfortunately I couldn't bring today because it's stuck on my computer and I didn't have a chance to print it off. What your proposals are is to have a case review. Now, what a case review does is looks at safeguarding. Now, what we propose today is you set up an independent committee. We require that to be led by the former Assistant Commissioner of the Metropolitan Police, Brian Paddock. We have spoken to Lord Paddock, and he will not be wanted because he's not establishment and he tells the truth. Well, that is all we want. We want the truth and we want justice for the victims of Beechwood.
Well, don't you? And using somebody with some credibility, etc. But I'm afraid he's a Lib Dem. He'll be laughed at. As we find all the time.
Well, I think that's quite insulting to another political party.
Well, I am a Lib Dem. I know how we are treated. That is why I am angry today.
Can I ask, what is the council's view on, an inquiry?
The council's fully behind full inquiry. In terms of reference, haven't been agreed yet. What has been agreed that the inquiry will start.
And you're going to appoint your own chair? That's not independent.
I can't speak on
this
is something that's been done jointly with the politicians, so the MPs, the county councillors, city council, the leaders. There'll be a discussion and we'll get as much consensus around. It will be led independently.
Well, we do independently, right, as someone that's not chosen by you. And I think the victims need to actually have a say in how this is constructed.
Mrs. Summers has already commitment.
Did any of you know that yesterday in Parliament there was a big meeting over 400 today, Mickey?
Yeah,
in Parliament. And it came out that the insurance companies of a lot of these councils where this paedophile has been exposed have been told by the insurance companies not to admit any kind of liability.
What I would like to... Yes, I was aware of that because I follow...
Yeah, and I mean, so that to me is like criminal deception and diverting the course of justice.
May I suggest that you're doing the terms of reference, etc., that Ken and Gail, as deputy leader and leader of your respective groups, get emailed stuff as it goes along, and then we can keep an eye on what's actually happening, okay? And then if we've got any queries, I don't know if you're going to go away from this meeting with confidence in the fact that we will take stuff forward that we're not happy with. I certainly will.
But I speak on behalf. I actually speak on behalf of several victims, and we have had discussions. And the man that we would like to lead that would be the former Assistant Commissioner of the Metropolitan Police, one Brian Paddock.
Yeah, I just want to get the undertaking that we will, please. I would like to, and I know that. Would like to be updated on this at regular intervals as to where we are, and I think that you're happy for us to be updated, aren't you?
Yeah.
Because it is extra eyes on this.
The abuse of our children has been systematic. It's proven now, nationwide, all across this country. Do you know what I mean? And if people like you and people that are in positions of responsibility do not start taking this on board, just how deep this goes, right to the very top.
It does go to the top.
Can I just say something?
Then it's all going to collapse on you like an house of cards. People aren't going to let this go.
Let me just say, you don't have to tell me that, because I know that.
Yeah.
What I'm saying to you is, this is the first I've heard about this today.
I understand.
And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for your support.
And what I will do, and I know what Ken will do on behalf of the Liberal Democrat group will do, we are asking now for regular updates so we can monitor this situation, so we can see how it's progressing. I mean, we are very easy to find on email.
Yes, I was going to say, you can email us
as well.
Anything further you want to take that you don't think has been covered in this meeting.
We're happy to receive those. We're easy to find, and that will assist us on being able to keep an eye on that, and that we will do.
See, we're all parents and grandparents, and everybody should be morally outraged at what is happening in this country. If you're not, I'd always say, well, why not?
I think that people are. I think people are truly shocked about what is coming forward, in
They're not shocked enough.
I'm not just.
That wasn't a personal feeling. I'm generalising. They're not shocked enough.
I think people really are. I mean, some people are more shocked than others because it's happened within their families, if you like. But what I find more shocking than anything else is that these children in that age, and I'm a child of the 60s, you're a child of the 60s.
I'm a lot older than that.
We're very fortunate that we weren't in that position. What is shocking to me is that those children, and there were a lot of them, never listened to them, and they were shut up. But as they've become adults and found their voices, and I'm really glad that they're speaking out. I'm really glad that you're speaking out. But I promise that I will request those regular updates, and I know that they will come. And my email inbox is open to you to use.
What you heard this morning was my 12-year-old inner child.
Mickey, tell them why the children never came forward.
Because they were told that no one would ever believe them.
And there is the abuse when all their histories are eradicated. They cannot find these documents. Well, to eradicate somebody's complete history. These kids, we go up and think we have photos to look at and stuff like that. People like Mickey haven't got that at all. And now the people that was responsible for taking care of them, all those records are gone. Their lives have just disappeared.
But I actually consider myself very fortunate that I turned my life around totally 11 years ago. Right? This is not about Mickey Summers. Right? This is about those out there that are still not being heard. Well, I speak on behalf of the little people, those that are not heard.
I will keep raising this through the local media. I really would. And, if people are banning your films on YouTube, I'd still keep sending them in anyway, because people do, even if they're there just a fortnight, it does get round.
I do, and I also put a video out saying how you can see them. They're only banned in the UK, and you can use a proxy server, so it makes you look like you're out of the country and you can see them. And I put a video out.
I'm no techno whiz, but even through Twitter, etc., I can access stuff.
Yeah.
So,
on one final point, this actually goes to the very top of the present government. Back in the 80s, you remember the Cook report?
Yeah.
Yes.
He was doing what's going on, and he got a child actor who was actually 18 but said he was 15, went into the House of Parliament, Ken Clark molested him, and they got that on video. It then came out when it was realised that it was going to go out on video. Carlton TV, who the CEO at the time was none other than David Cameron, bought out Central TV, killed the Cook report, buried the files, put the video somewhere safe. Later on, they got burnt and are destroyed. So it does go to the very top.
Just go to the very top.
Can I just say it's not history, it is still happening. Even the abuse that happened in history, once you've been abused, you never stop being abused, you never stop dealing
And that's
with
why
that.
so much recovery
But
report going on.
also, we know that it's still going on. It's not suddenly stopped. We've not suddenly got rid of paedophiles and disgusting people. But what I'd like to know is, if this was anybody else, why are we only talking about reviews, investigations? Why is nobody being talked about jail time? They've committed crimes and murders and all sorts against children.
Well, I think
innocents.
that's the police and
But the police will not, the police will not look at acts of malfeasance and professional misconduct, right, that have been done since then in covering it up.
What about the IPCC?
Well, the IPCC are investigating my 2003 allegations, which prove beyond reasonable doubt that Paddy Tipping is a liar, because he backed the IPCC into a corner where they had to look at my 2003 allegations. But just like my childcare records, all the statements have gone missing.
Anyway,
Right.
ladies and
But I'd like to say, on behalf of the little people, those that are still yet to be heard, thank you for your time.
No, thank you. Thank you very much.
okay.
Debt Free TV, in association with GetOutOfDebtFree.org.